I traveled out of the US for the first time in 7 years. I got denied entry. I got detained. I got deported. I was apartment hopping. So spent 1 month in different apartments. I put all my things in storage. I opened a PO box to receive mail because I did not have a mailing address. I got into therapy. I've been playing with this experiment and I'm just wondering, right? Every year I look back to the previous year or 2 years before, I had done something that at that time made sense. It seemed very reasonable. And 2 years later, I realized that I didn't think about that really well. Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Obed and it's been a while. Happy 2026, Happy New Year. It's good to have you. I also just want to say thank you to everyone that had messaged me on WhatsApp and email just to check in to see how I'm doing. Thank you. Those people that messaged me that have my phone number or on TikTok. Thank you. I am alive. I made it in 2025. Now 2025 has been an amazing year, right? I got a personal trainer. I let go of my personal trainer, continued my fitness journey on my own, got a dietitian, learned about my relationship with food. A very important application I submitted to the US government got denied. That rocked my boat a little bit. I forgot about YouTube just so I can focus and get that sorted. The application got approved. I traveled out of the US for the first time in 7 years. I got denied entry to the said country I went to. I got detained. I got deported. Yep, you heard that right. I got deported. I was homeless. This is number 11. At this point, I've lost count. For 3 months in a row in 2025. I was apartment hopping. So spent 1 month in different apartments. I put all my things in storage. I opened a PO box to receive mail because I did not have a mailing address. Finally found an apartment. I got into therapy, started seeing a therapist, and no, you don't always have to see a therapist because you're depressed. And if you know anything about me, I'm one of those people that would say, hey, like I feel like I would not have high blood pressure in my life because I don't keep things that much. I get really mad when things go sideways, but when I let it go, I let it go. And that's just it. That's how I live my life. That's how I've been living. What else happened in 2025? I got into business partnerships, got into new friendships, got out of some friendships. I finished a very big personal project in Nigeria. Thank God. I was running that project for probably 3 years in a row. Finally finished. So I really thank God for that one. I feel like I can breathe. And 26 is a fresh year. And I hope it feels that way for you. I hope you feel that way about 2026. As you can imagine, in the summer when I was apartment hopping, I did not have a home studio. So I can't set up like this. I can't shoot. I can't talk to you guys. Had to take a big break and just get my life sorted out. That was literally 2025. But now I have more stability. And I'm shooting this video on the 1st of January. And the final day of December, I was just thinking. I was in bed. What a lot of Nigerians like to call crossover night. I was in bed watching a movie. And I was just like, life is good. I thank God. It felt peaceful. It felt nice. I felt happy. I started reading. I am now, I think I can safely say I'm now an avid reader. Like I read every night, right? I read a chapter of something. I have books now that I am actually, like I don't just have books because like it feels nice to just keep a book in the background. No, like I'm actually getting through books. I sign up for a library membership and I have a library card and I get library books and I'm like reading and returning and picking new books. Guys, that is amazing. I got some books as gift thanks to my friends that gave me those books. They know themselves. If you gave me a book last year, kudos and cheers to you. But thanks everyone for those that made the year memorable. And even people that probably contributed to things that quote unquote were negatives. Thanks to you, you made the year what it is, right? And it's good to be back here to be able to see everybody. But some of the key things that are front of mind for 2025 that I really wanted to talk about, and those things that actually bleed into 2026. Number one, I learned in 2025 that it is true that the prefrontal cortex of a person that is not yet 30 is truly not fully developed. And I know we read about this all the time, but it is true, right? That before you're 30, or even sometimes in your early 30s, your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that is responsible for decision making, impulses, and setting goals and executing and just carry through, it's not fully developed, and you expect it to make some like very deep, serious commitment and choices and decisions that's going to impact, honestly, sometimes the rest of your life. And you're making them at a time when the part of your brain that's responsible for critical thinking and decision making is not fully formed. Like, how interesting is that? Right? So we found ourselves in that space. And I would say last year, I lived the reality of this. So a lot of choices I made before 2025 kind of came into play somewhere along the line. Basically, pretty much came back to bite me in the ass. And I'm able to look back and see that some decisions I made in the past that at the time I made them seemed very logical, made a lot of sense. Today and now that I'm 30, makes no sense. Literally makes no sense, and it is a reality that I live in. And I wonder how many of you can relate to this, where there are choices you made 2 years ago that you were sure at the time you made the choice was the right choice, and then you look back and you realize jokes on you, it actually it wasn't the best choice. And shout out to my friend Daniel. You can find him on TikTok. He makes this really valuable short videos. He doesn't know I'm doing this, so this is going to be a fun surprise for him. He talked about how his solution to this is get help. In 2026, how you can get over this kind of problem is get help from people who actually have fully formed prefrontal cortex. Now, I mentioned earlier that I got into therapy in 2025. So my therapist is a 41-year-old clinical psychologist, right? And he's a man, he's black, and I like those things. And I told him, I said, I feel like you can relate to anything I bring to you. He has a PhD in clinical psychology. So like he can actually tell me stuff that I feel like we have some trajectories that kind of overlap a little bit that I can learn from him. But I told him, it's like, I see you as a big brother that's like highly educated in this area of human behavior and can help me navigate some of those challenges or just life related situations that I'm dealing with. Find mentors. That is one way you are able to manage that aspect of your life, that before you get incapacitated, you're making really big impactful life decisions at the age of 30 or before the age of 30, and you're going to live with that choice for the rest of your life. Think about that. Get help. Next thing I want to talk about for 2026, set realistic goals. Don't be like me. Last year, I think my goals were like this. My capacity was like this. My goals were like this. And there are people who go above and beyond with the way they achieve things, but they don't do it by themselves. For example, 21-year-old Millie Bobby Brown, the girl from Stranger Things, some of you probably know her. She owns a coffee brand, she owns a clothing brand, she owns a makeup line. She's an actress. She got married, she adopted a child. That's not normal for most 21-year-olds. We would all agree. However, what's unique about this is she's not the 21-year-old that's managing the clothing line, that's managing the coffee shop, that's managing, or like the coffee brand, that's managing the cosmetic brand. She's not making any of those things. She has people with fully formed prefrontal cortex, fully grown adults that are working for her on all these fronts. She puts in money, they get the work done. And this can come in different formats. You might not be Millie Bobby Brown that has money to hire people, but you can ask for help. So ask for help. When you get mentors, one of the things you can ask them for is to hold you accountable. And there's really nothing wrong with getting accountability partners. Let it be people that will not be afraid to call you out on your BS and tell you the truth. Another pivotal thing to look out for in the year 2026 is surrounding yourself with genuine human beings. And I mean, people that will be honest with you, right? People that will tell you the truth. People that will tell you the truth regardless of how it feels. And I'm not saying that tell you the truth in a mean way, but I just mean people that will be friends enough to tell you how they actually feel about you if you mess up. But more importantly, they are very open to giving you genuine feedback. I always make this joke and I say, I see some people dress up and they come out of the house and I'm like, oh, did no one tell them? Did no one tell them that this does not look good? Did no one tell them that, so like, guess what? They probably asked friends, how do I look? And then someone told them they look good. Or have you seen people that come to singing competitions and they actually can't sing? And you and I know that someone hyped them into it. It just means someone lied to them. So they will come to that. And this is life. This is adult life. You can't afford to have friends that hype you up in a bad way, hype you up into a loss, hype you up into disgrace, hype you up into disappointment. You need genuine people that will be honest with you, and that is one thing I would look out for if I were you in 2026. Another thing when it comes to friends in 2026 is narrow down your circle. Extremely important. Go through your friends list, right? Question yourself, how many friends do I have this year? How many friends did I come out of 2025 with? Do I have 7, 9, 3 friends, 2, none? Whatever your number is, evaluate your friendships. Some of you might need to build new friendships. Some people need to evaluate the friendship. Now, we've already talked about not surrounding yourself with happy campers, people who are just happy to tell you things that make you happy, so they are not honest with you, and then that makes you make silly choices without realizing. But then narrow down your friend group. This is good for your focus, and your energy is protected from energy vampires. You know, if you have 17 friends and none of them is a real friend, or you have 5 friends, none of them is a real friend, every hour, 30 minutes, 10, 15 minutes you spend talking to them this year accumulates to maybe 3, 4, 5, 10 hours, 24 hours spent talking to somebody that was just an energy vampire. You are not adding to their life. They are not adding to your life. Think about that, right? If you really plan to succeed this year and utilize your time and resources, because your time is a resource, utilize your time/resources very well, especially in the area of friendships. You need to narrow down your friends group to an essential friend group. Like personally, I have 2 to 3 guys that are like my best guys. You don't choose family. You're born into your family, right? And you deal with it, regardless of what they look like, whether they are giving you the best life or the worst life. It is your family, right? Some people solve this by walking away from family, or avoid talking to their mom, or avoid talking to their dad. Some people deal with it by letting their boundaries be broken, and they just take it all in. Whatever it is you're dealing with, right? You don't really choose that situation. But friendship, you choose your friends. And so in 2026, be more aware of this. Choose your friends. Think about it. Now, if you don't narrow your group of friends to an essential group of friends, guess what you're doing? You're giving energy to energy vampires for free. People who are just taking from your time, taking from your energy, taking from your resources, and all for what? Narrowing down helps you demonstrate to your friends how important they are to you. And that is one thing I want to do in 2026. The relationships that are valuable to me, I would invest in it. Not just my time, not just my money, not just any other kind of resource. I would truly invest in it. Not being in the essential group doesn't mean you're not valuable. It just means that I know, and I would limit how much energy is expended into that relationship just for my own mental well-being. And I love everyone. I love these people. Even though I love them, I need to protect myself. And protecting myself and protecting them looks like maintaining and keeping a healthy boundary about what our friendship is about. Reevaluate your relationship in 2025, right? Conserve your energy for essential friendships, and keep genuine people around you that will tell you the truth. And I'm encouraging you to also be genuine to your friends, so that when people are cutting people out, you will not be cut out. But then you don't want like 100 friends. You don't want like 20 friends. Make sure you have an essential group of friends. That said, I think I'm going to stop some of this reflection here, because I can go on and on, but 2026 is going to be an amazing year. Honestly, lots of emphasis on getting help where you need help. Don't do it by yourself. That's not how life is designed to operate. Get help where you need help. Leave a comment in the comment section letting me know your experiences around making choices at a time where you're so sure was correct, and then you come to realize you were wrong. Let's celebrate growth. Let's celebrate the new year. And I look forward to seeing you all at the top. See you in the next video, and have a good one.